Scene opens with soft background music. Grace, a young woman in her late 20s, sits at a beautifully set dining table. She looks nervous, stealing glances at Ethan, her husband, and Vivian, her mother-in-law, who is impeccably dressed and exudes an air of control. Grace. This was supposed to be the happiest moment of my life, a celebration of new beginnings. But in an instant, everything shattered. Cut to Vivian's sharp gaze as she sips her wine. Grace gathers her courage and smiles at Ethan. Grace. Ethan, I have something to share with you. Before she can continue, Vivian interrupts, her voice icy. Vivian. Oh, Ethan already knows, dear. Congratulations on the baby. I only hope you're ready for the responsibility. Ethan's face hardens. Grace's smile fades, her eyes filling with fear. Flashback, Grace and Ethan's love story. Warm, sunny scenes of Grace and Ethan's courtship. Laughter, shared meals, and quiet moments. The tone is light and joyful. Grace. When I met Ethan, I thought I had found my forever. He was kind, loving, and everything I dreamed of. But then came Vivian. The scenes shift to darker tones. Vivian's disapproving looks, whispered critiques, and her growing influence on Ethan. Grace. Her presence changed everything, and soon Ethan wasn't the man I fell in love with. The confrontation. Back at the dinner table, Ethan slams his glass down. Ethan, you kept this from me? How could you? Grace stammers, her voice breaking. Grace, I wanted to tell you, but I was scared. Scared of what Vivian would say, of how you'd react. Vivian smirks, leaning back in her chair. Vivian, well, you were right to be afraid. Ethan's anger boils over. He raises his hand, striking Grace. The room falls silent. Grace holds her cheek, tears streaming down. Grace seeks refuge. Grace rushes out of the house, clutching her coat. She arrives at Chloe's apartment, her best friend. Chloe. Grace. What happened? Grace breaks down, and Chloe hugs her tightly. Grace. I don't know what to do. I love him, but this isn't the man I married. Chloe gently wipes Grace's tears and speaks firmly. Chloe, you need to put yourself and the baby first. Let Ethan prove he's willing to change. Until then, you stay here with me. Scenes of Chloe making tea for Grace, offering her a safe place to stay, and helping her navigate her emotions. Grace begins to feel a small sense of relief. Ethan's regret. Scenes of Ethan sitting alone in the dimly lit dining room. The broken glass from his outburst remains on the table. He stares at a family photo, his expression filled with guilt. Ethan, what have I done? Flashbacks of his happy moments with Grace flood his mind. Her laughter, her kindness, her love. He picks up his phone and hesitates before dialing. Ethan on the phone. Grace, I'm so sorry. I'll do whatever it takes to make this right. Please let me prove it to you. Cut to Grace holding the phone, her face a mix of anger and hope. Grace to Chloe. He says he wants to change, but how can I trust him again? Chloe. Trust is earned, Grace. Let him show you through his actions, not just words. Therapy and reflection. Montage of Ethan attending therapy sessions alone. The therapist listens patiently as Ethan opens up about his childhood and Vivian's overbearing influence. Therapist. It seems like your mother's control has shaped how you handle conflict. Breaking free from that pattern won't be easy, but it's necessary. Scenes of Ethan writing letters to Grace, apologizing and reflecting on his behavior. Meanwhile, Grace begins journaling about her fears and hopes for the future. Eventually, Ethan and Grace attend a therapy session together. The atmosphere is tense but hopeful. Therapist. Healing takes time and effort from both of you. It's about rebuilding trust one step at a time. Scenes show small, positive moments. Ethan cooking dinner. Grace smiling faintly, and the two preparing the nursery together. Setting boundaries with Vivian. Vivian arrives at the house unannounced. Ethan meets her at the door. Ethan, Mother, you can't keep interfering. Grace and I are setting boundaries. If you can't respect that, you're not welcome here. Vivian glares but eventually leaves. Grace watches from the doorway, relief washing over her. Grace, I didn't think you'd stand up to her. Ethan, I had to. For us. For Lily. The final scene shows Grace in a hospital bed, holding baby Lily. Ethan sits beside her, tears in his eyes. She's perfect, just like her mother. Grace smiles, the tension replaced by a sense of hope. Scenes of the couple bringing Lily home, decorating the nursery, and enjoying quiet family moments. Our journey wasn't easy, but it taught us the value of love, respect, and the power of change. For Lily, we'll keep fighting to be better. Love is a journey, and every step matters. If you've ever faced challenges in your relationships, remember, healing is possible. Share your story in the comments, and let's support each other on this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories.